So Joker Folie Deux just came out this past weekend, and it's gotten a lot of negative reception. So I thought, what better way to talk about what I would have done for a Joker sequel.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror and he is no friend to me.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to Pitch This here on the MrEliMac YouTube channel. I'm your host, MrEliMac, and today I'm going to be talking about a movie idea that I've had for a while, which is a Joker sequel, but not so much a Joker sequel, but more of a way to continue the story that is set in that Joker film. So this movie is very much ignoring a lot of Joker Folie Deux because this idea that I came up with in 2019 when the first Joker came out, and I saw it, I was like, oh, this is what they could do for a continuation of that film. And so very much, if you're wondering why I'm not referencing Harley or any of the stuff that happened in that movie, it's because it didn't happen in this continuity. And I want to also state that even though I'm doing this film, I want it to be known that I actually liked Joker Folie Deux. I really did enjoy that film. But again, I'm in the minority, so a lot of people probably don't care my thoughts on that movie. But before I get into the pitch, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. That way you can be notified whenever a new video like this comes your way. Also hit the notification bell. That way you can be notified whenever a new video comes your way. And so to get into the pitch, it's very much a story that, again, is a continuation, but Joker is not the main character. And I know a lot of people who watch Joker Folie Deux probably felt that way with Harley in that film. But in my film, I very much give it to you in the title that this movie is not about the Joker. If you saw the thumbnail, if you saw the title, this movie is very much a Bruce Wayne story. This is my way of doing a Batman in that universe. And I know a lot of people probably wouldn't want to see a Batman movie in that universe. I just happened to, when I was watching the original Joker film, I was like, oh, this is how Batman could work. This is how you could make a Batman movie set in this universe. And that was just stuck in my head. So I'm very much going to be presenting to you what I would do, some of the designs for Batman, and sort of how I would tell this story. And though in the thumbnail it has Robert Pattinson on the cover, Robert Pattinson is not the actor I would have picked for the role. I just needed a Bruce Wayne that looked disheveled, and he just happened to look like a Bruce Wayne that was disheveled. So I very much went with that route. Also, yeah, let's just get into the pitch without any further ado. For the beginning of the film, it would start sort of like the prologue of the film would start with the young Bruce Wayne, sort of right after his parents just had their funeral, and you sort of see Bruce Wayne in tears and very much in the broken part of his life. And Alfred would very much come in and very much try to comfort Bruce and try to tell him, hey, everything is going to be okay. They got the man who sort of did it, and he's in jail. And Bruce is like, no, he doesn't deserve to be in jail. He deserves much worse, and I'm going to make sure he gets much worse. And sort of this is the moment where we start to see a softening of Alfred, because if you saw the original Joker film, Alfred was more of hard-nosed, hard-edged, and this is the moment where we're going to be seeing sort of the transition from hard-nosed and hard-edged to the softening of Alfred, because I wanted to keep some consistency with the story that was told, even though it was told by an unreliable narrator. I wanted to continue, bring over that sort of ideas of those characters and then change them a bit as we go on for this film. So very much we see Bruce Wayne going from a normal child, to a hardened-edged person where he really doesn't have that much left remaining in his soul. And that's sort of the prologue of the film, because next we would see the title, like Bruce Wayne, a Joker story. The only reason why I have a Joker story is to let people know it's set in that same universe, but it's very much, the title of the movie is very much Bruce Wayne. And we would cut to 10 years later, where we're in the early 90s, and Bruce Wayne is a late teenager, almost in his early 20s, and he is in the military. He is in basic training, and he is learning how to hone his skills. And in my mind, it's set in this very realistic world. I feel like Bruce Wayne going to ninja school or whatever wouldn't make sense in this real world, so he would go into the military and he would learn basic combat. He would learn how to use different types of weapons, and that is where he would get his fighting style and fighting training. And this would all lead up to the moment where he is about to get shipped to the Gulf War, because the Gulf War was happening around the time that I'm setting this movie. But literally, as he's about to get shipped out, the war ends. That is very much, oh, you don't have to worry about it. The war is over. You don't have to send any of these men over. So Bruce Wayne never actually goes to the Gulf War. He never actually goes to that area, to Desert Storm. We don't see him go to that. Instead, after he gets done with basic training and he gets done with all of that sort of necessary stuff, he is discharged, because in me trying to make this universe make sense and the story make sense, he gets discharged and goes back to Gotham City. And when he goes back to Gotham City, he sees that it's still very much a bad place to be and a bad place to live. And the rich are sort of the upper class, and the white collar people are very much getting attacked and harassed by the lower class scum of Gotham. And for him seeing that, he's very much getting recounts and getting flashbacks to what it was like back when he was a kid in 1981, where Joker just led this chaotic sense of stuff happening. And he goes home and he gets back to Wayne Manor, and Alfred greets him with open arms, but Bruce is still like cut off from everything. He's like, no, I don't really care about this right now. I said I would set out to do something and try to help Gotham, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it in my way. And Alfred's like, what are you talking about? What are you going to try to do? It's like, I'm going to take what I learned, and I'm going to make sure that the upper class, the people that my father were a part of, are not harassed anymore. And so Alfred is very much, oh, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think you should be doing any of this at all. But Bruce doesn't care. He's going to do what he wants to do because he is in the 20s, he's in a rebellion phase. And so what Bruce does is he takes a lot of his military equipment that he was able to take from the military somehow, and he paints it black. He changes it to look differently. He, instead of a cape, he gets a trench coat, and instead of wearing a traditional cowl, he just wears a biker helmet, where when the visor is up you can see his eyes, but when it goes down, there are parts of the helmet and the visor that just sticks up to look like horns. And sort of that's the bat suit, is military tactical gear with a trench coat and a biker helmet that has horns. Not exactly the way it looks in the thumbnail, because that very much is very, oh, that's Batman coded. This is more of just, it just happens that is a part of the helmet that it does that. And so as he is going around, he is going after specifically lower class criminals that are very much just harassing upper class people, as the upper class are trying to go about their day, trying to make sure that they are doing what they want in their lives. And whenever he goes up against these lower class criminals, every time he's beating them up, he's only seeing Arthur Fleck's face. That is all he is seeing, to the point where a lot of them get beat up very badly. And something else that makes this version of Batman different from every other version is that he uses guns off the rip. He is someone that is very much, again, trying to give into this realistic world. He is someone that uses guns. He isn't afraid to use a gun. And I know some people will be like, well, Ben Affleck's Batman did that. Ben Affleck's Batman did that after years of being Batman. This one is right out of the rip. He is a gun user. And also because he's been in the military, he is very much trained how to use a gun. And I also wanted to harken back to the original Batman in the early 30s, where he was using guns a little bit more liberally. And so that's very much the version of Batman that we have. Someone that is very militaristic, very much has guns, and very much focused on saving the upper class. That is Batman. And throughout the entire time, the news is picking this up. They're like, oh, who is this mysterious man that Gotham is being ravaged by? Is this the new Joker? And Bruce is very much like, no, I'm not the Joker at all. I'm the opposite of the Joker. I'm saving people. And Alfred is like, well, to those people, you're not true. That's not a true statement. You're not helping people. You're hurting people. And he's like, no, I'm helping people. I'm helping people that my father would want me to help. And Alfred's like, sure, but the majority of people in Gotham aren't like your father. They're lower class, and you're just hurting the lower class. And Bruce is like, well, they deserve to be hurt because of everything that they did to my family and to everything that's happening in Gotham. And that's sort of the ideal of Bruce. He is very much someone that is trying to help people that are like his father. His entire point was trying to uphold his family's legacy, and to him that means helping people like his father. And throughout, as we continue to sort of see this type of Batman go around, the police are getting their wind of, oh, this is a new person that's going out there acting like as if they can stop crime. And it's like, we're getting an entire new era of Joker, but now with this type of person. And throughout this time, Bruce is being called by some of the criminals Batman. And there's a hyphen between Bat and Man, sort of like the original Batman comics. And Bruce hates being called Batman. He refuses to be called Batman. He doesn't even like to call himself Batman. He's like, Batman is a horrible name. I don't want to be called this at all. I'm not even dressed up like a bat. I don't know why people would call me this. And so Bruce would continue to do his heroics, in quotes, and then he would meet up with a friend of his who is another upper class person. And that's when Bruce would start to see his mistakes and his errors, because he would see how this upper class person is treating the lower class. He would be seeing how they don't really look at the lower class as anyone special. And then he would start seeing the white collar crime and how the white collar crime is actually hurting a lot of people in general, to the point where when Bruce is on his escapade of trying to help people, he would see that an upper class person is actually hurting a lot of people. And he would even see that one of the people that he's hurting is a kid, and Bruce would just go in and stop the upper class person and help the kid with whatever he is doing and try to make sure that he's not hurt, to the point where Bruce would even give the family, this kid, money to go out and buy something to eat, and the kid would like say, "Thank you, Batman," and run off. And that would be sort of the turning point for Bruce of, what I was doing before wasn't actually helping. This is helping people. And so that would be the major shift. Like, I know I'm not fully sticking on the point right now, but that would be a major shift for Bruce to be like, okay, this is what I actually need to do to help people. And that's sort of one of the main plots for Bruce. And now we're going over to why this is very much called a Joker movie as well. The entire time we would be seeing Arkham, and we would be seeing Arthur Fleck seeing all this news coverage on Batman, and the entire time he would be looking at it and it's like, well, I'm not on the minds anymore. When before Batman, I was still on the mind. People were still talking about the Joker. They were coming up to the 10-year anniversary of the Joker fiasco, and now no one's talking about it anymore because of this Batman. And so in Arthur's mind, he needs to get back into the public. And so we would get a moment where something would happen to where Arthur would be able to escape Arkham. He wouldn't directly cause it, but he would find a way to escape Arkham. And that would be the major news coverage throughout this point, where everyone's like, Arthur Fleck, the Joker, has escaped from Arkham State Hospital. And that would be running through Bruce's mind, to the point where he would be like, okay, it's time for me to do what I actually decided to do since I put on this uniform. And Alfred would be like, no, I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to go down this dark path. And Bruce would be like, this is the reason why I did all of this. You know, Arthur Fleck is the reason why I am doing what I am doing. I do not care that you don't want me to hurt this man. I don't care that you don't want me to kill this man. He killed my parents. He may not have done it directly, but he is responsible for their murder. So I'm going to make sure he suffers. I'm going to put the gun that killed my parents to his head, and I'm going to pull the trigger. And that's very much what Batman decides to do. He goes out, he's looking for Arthur Fleck, and eventually he finds him in a warehouse. And Arthur Fleck's in full Joker makeup. Bruce is in the Batman helmet, and Arthur just wants to talk to him and tries to fight him in quotes, but Bruce easily takes him down, to the point where he takes him down and he breaks Arthur's arm, and Arthur's just laying there in pain. And then Bruce takes off his helmet and he looks at Arthur Fleck. He says, do you know who I am? You probably don't, because you don't remember people like me. My name is Bruce Wayne. Because of you, my parents are dead. Because of you, I have lost everything in my life. Because of you, I am an orphan. And then Bruce takes out the gun. It's not the exact gun, but it's a very similar gun that killed his parents, and he just puts it to Arthur's head. And Arthur this entire time is pleading, no, don't kill me, don't do this, don't do this, come on, don't do this. And Bruce is like, why do you deserve to live? Because of you, I am alone. Because of you, I have had to wonder, what would my life be like if my parents were here? Because of you, I am nobody. Bruce just pushes the gun further and further, getting ready to pull the trigger, and Arthur is constantly looking up to him, pleading, crying, trying not to die. He did not realize something like this would happen. He did not realize this would be the end of Arthur Fleck. But then Bruce would just scream at the top of his lungs and throw the gun aside. And then Bruce, for the first time, feeling anger, feeling the sadness, feeling every emotion he's been pushing down, finally releases multiple screams, tears running down his face, finally able to feel the anguish that he has felt, that he has been hiding for years. Then we cut to a few days later. Arthur Fleck is back at Ark, and we see Bruce Wayne in a suit, in his sort of pseudo Batcave, looking at Alfred. And Alfred says, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And Bruce is like, "Yep, it's the only way to make things right." And then we cut to the police station, GCPD, and whoever is at the desk, the commissioner, is looking at a few papers, and then we see the helmet get placed on his desk. Then we see the tactical vest, or the tactical gear, the trench coat, and he looks up and he sees Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne holds out his arms, and he says, "My name is Bruce Wayne, and I'm Batman." And then that's when we would cut to black. Bruce Wayne would turn himself in for everything he's done as Batman, and that would sort of be what I would do for a Batman movie. Very much focusing on Bruce Wayne having sort of PTSD and survivor's guilt, very much hiding in all that emotion, all that sorrow that he has had since he was a kid. And then ultimately at the very end, him releasing all of it as he's about to do what he's been wanting to do for years, but he's unable to do it. And that's sort of the reason why I didn't want him to go into war either, because I didn't want to have a moment where he is killing people and then we get to that final moment and he can't do it anymore. For this, it's like, no, he never had the chance to do that, and now he is unable to actually do what he deems is necessary. And also, I think it would have been a nice conclusion to this Joker story of, okay, we have the Joker, and now we're going to have the other side of the coin, Batman, and having the idea of, oh, though we know the traditional Batman Joker story, this is a flip on it. And I just think it would have been an interesting idea to do a Batman in this universe. But what were your thoughts on the pitch? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Were you indifferent to it? Whatever your thoughts, post them in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. That way you can be up to date with all the videos I have here on the channel. Also, hit the notification bell. That way you can be notified whenever a new video like this comes your way. But until next time, I've been Mr. EliMac. You've been the audience, and I hope you all remember to have a great rest of the day.